Hi everybody, Dr. Derek Alessi, and if you are looking for a delicious and fat-dropping food that you could use on many occasions, I have something you're going to love. Often clients will ask me, what can I have for breakfast? What can I have for a quick meal? What can I have for a snack that tastes great, tastes like a dessert, but doesn't increase my blood sugar level, keeps my insulin level low so I can drop more body fat. And over the years of experimenting, I've put together a mixture of different foods that I think taste fantastic and I think you're going to love as well. Let me show you. Fat dropping protein pudding. I'm using 10% milk fat cottage cheese as the first ingredient because it is the lowest amount in sugar and I love the casein protein. You could also use the 10% Greek yogurt as well. The higher the milk fat, the lower in sugar. After a half a cup of that, I'm going to add also a scoop of grass-fed pure Zealand protein. I'm using the chocolate. The vanilla works great as well. In fact, the vanilla with the cottage cheese is like a praline. I'm then adding unsweetened 100% baking cacao just to add it a little bit of sharpness and richness. And then I'm adding a tablespoon of macadamia nut oil. I'm going to then add a little bit of crunch. So pecans, pecan pieces, I'm going to use half a tablespoon of that. It's going to go in there as well, which is awesome for crunch and as a snack. I'm going to mix it up. You might have to add a little bit of water, and by a little bit of water I mean like 2 tablespoons of water to it. Mix it up, stir it, and it will become like a pudding. It's going to be more like a pudding with the Greek yogurt than the cottage cheese, but either way you can see the consistency. After that, it is literally just ready to eat. You're going to think that you're having dessert, but I can assure you it's great for breakfast. It's good for a snack. If you're craving, it's a good thing to have as well. Delicious. So once again, the mixture is quite simple. We're using the Pure Zealand grass-fed protein. It's going to be the highest source of bioavailable protein, and at the same time, it's sucralose-free, sweetened with stevia, and it tastes delicious and it mixes very easily. I mixed it with either 10% milk fat cottage cheese or 10% milk fat Greek yogurt. Once again, the reason why high fat means low sugar and it means more glucose stabilization so that you don't increase your blood sugar level. It's your preference which one you like the best. I do personally like the cottage cheese better because I like the casein protein. It releases over time and it's a great complement to the grass-fed protein. But if you happen to like yogurt more, and there's other benefits to yogurt too, it's all right to use as well. And both, since it's higher in fat, it's lower in sugar. In addition to it, I also use another fat. I use the Australian Macadamia Nut Oil. It's what I like to call liquid gold because it's giving you good fats as well, creating a little bit of that fat bomb type of effect. Also too high in omega-3 fatty acids, excellent for your cells and wonderful for your heart. It adds some flavor to it as well. In addition to that, I also added a little bit of nuts for some texture. When it comes to nuts, it does matter because they're different in the glycemic index. So I like to take something that's lower in the glycemic index, like pecans or walnuts or even Brazil nuts or macadamia nuts. They're going to be the lowest. Adds a little crunch, which a lot of people like. If you don't like nuts, if you have an allergy, you don't need to use them, but it does add a little something to it. And lastly, just to add a little bit more of a sharpness of flavor, I'm using some baking cocoa. With it though, it is unsweetened. We don't want to add any sugar to it. It, once again, provides a little bit of richness to it, especially if you like the taste of dark chocolate. It darkens it up a little bit. Also too, it'll change the coloring a little bit more, making it look a little bit more like pudding. Combined, when you put this all together, what you have is a higher protein, higher dietary fats, but good fat meal that can be used once again for breakfast. It could be used for lunch. It could be used for dinner. It could be used post-workout. It could also be used if you're craving. If you're trying to get off sugar, if you're trying to eat better, if you're trying to break that sugar addiction that you have, that is a much better dessert after dinner than anything else you're going to pull out of the freezer. Mix that together, you're going to have better results. Now, if you already are in pretty good shape, you can't do that each and every night after dinner. It will start to add up. But if you're just starting off, it's a great thing to add to break the sugar addiction. Once again, hopefully that recipe works for you. Try it out. I think you're going to love it. In fact, once again, I feel like it tastes like dessert. I feel guilty sometimes when I even eat it. Try it out and let me know your thoughts.